This is a decent podcast. It's Haunted Phosphorescence. Everyone, this is your host, Throw Smiley, and why don't you tell Daddy to come by and see me tonight? Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh CC, and if you start with the Dionne Warwick stuff, I'm going to throw you out a fucking window.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I just might lick them as they walk by, if you threaten me enough.
I'm Alaric Weber. Can I wear bugs?
Sure. Sorry, fire trucks, man. You got to wear the fire trucks.
United States.
This is Haunted Phosphorescence, your Spooktober podcast, where we're watching some scary movies this month. Well, scary is relative. We're watching some movies that have some sort of creepiness to them. This show is brought to you by our patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. There's bonus content there. We've got a bunch of monthly movies up. We have a bunch of music ones. We've got a Star Wars miniseries up there. Just go check it out. We're about a week or so, we'll have a new monthly movie up. We're going to be doing The Island of Dr. Moreau this month. That'll be up there.
What an island.
Yes, what an island. I accidentally I went on vacation and accidentally went to the island of Dr. Moreau instead of Maui.
It was cheaper. Damn you, Expedia.
Yeah, I price lined my way into it.
To the island of Dr. Moreau. The Airbnbs are nice.
Yeah, they're not bad, but they have a cleaning fee, but they still make you take out all the trash and sweep. But this week on Haunted Phosphorescence, we're watching Stir of Echoes.
Oh, I saw a guy who got a 2-inch needle stuck into his arm while he was under hypnosis, didn't feel a thing.
Okay, Kreskin, prove it. Hypnotize somebody.
Yeah, do me.
No.
Come on. What's the worst that can happen?
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Why do I know that song?
Are you okay?
What the hell did she do to me? I see a red door and I want it painted black.
He hasn't gone to work. He sleeps like 12 hours a night. Why are you digging?
The man's switch got flipped. He's a receiver now.
She's taking him away. She was here. What's the problem? I see people turn their heads and quickly look away. Like a newborn baby, it just happens every day.
Don't be afraid of it, Daddy.
I look inside myself and see my heart is black.
He can't stop it. He can't slow it down. He can't even figure it out.
No! Whatever door you open in my mind, I want you to shut up, shut up.
Stir of Echoes. It was released September 10th, 1999, had a running time of 100 minutes. It cost $12 million, and it made $21 million.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Sure.
Yeah, did all right.
Remember in the mid to late 90s how covers of Painted Black were so edgy?
Oh, my God.
It meant you were an edgy band.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the movie would have benefited by having that song in it at the climax of it.
It did.
Did it?
No, it was over the credits.
Yeah.
They used pieces of it, but they didn't actually
Wait.
play the song in the film until the credits.
Okay.
They used pieces of it as a motif, I think, in the score.
I thought it was playing. That's what was playing on the radio when the two kids were assaulting her.
Oh, you're right. It was.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
so I
right.
take it
He
back. I
cranks
guess it
up
does
to
happen at the
kill out
climax of the movie.
her screams.
That's right.
Usually I'm wrong. So
No.
Brian, it
I
was,
think
you
you're
know,
right this time,
No,
Josh.
I think you're right. Because I watched it twice, but I didn't rewatch the ending twice for reasons that we'll probably talk about.
And the reason I remember is because I think Andrew was like, "Oh, that's the riff he was figuring out."
Yeah. Yeah. But also, like, if you're like a rock guy in the 90s, you're 100% going to recognize the Paint It Black riff.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So
It was one of those repressed memories of his.
I have some repressed memories about the Stones, but
echoing out.
it's not about that song.
Echoing out.
Yeah. So, Stir of Echoes.
Because I think he could hear things as opposed to the kid seeing things. Obviously, Kevin Bacon could see things too, but you know what I mean? His was more audio.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. The kid would look up and talk to things. Like,
yeah, the kid was seeing things all
eye
the time.
contact. Yeah. Conversation.
That makes sense considering he was a musician and had, yeah. Jude was looking at his, like when he was listening to his CDs, yes. Jude was like, why are people mad about streaming again? Look at that. He's like paging through them, trying to find a song.
I know, and his records.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, like I said, it made $21 million, which ain't bad. I'm sure it did even better on home video. That's where I saw it. I didn't see it in the theater. But I think that means we should play the top box office top 10 game. This is the game where I will describe the top 10 movies of the week of September 10th, 1999.
We were preparing for Y2K.
We really were.
We didn't have time for shenanigans.
Any minute now, all of our computers are going to be charging us 100 years worth of late fees.
We had no idea what they even did. Computers.
We're like, airplanes will fall from the sky.
Will my Minesweeper be uninstalled?
Yeah. My Windows 98 pinball game will no longer function correctly.
Hey, that pinball game. Thousands of hours, man. Thousands of hours, probably.
So yeah, the box office top 10 game. Just real quickly, I'm going to run down some of the movies that aren't in the top 10 because they were released far too long ago to be there. But we've got hanging into the top 50 here, The Matrix, Life is Beautiful, The Mummy, Eyes Wide Shut, American Beauty, Lake Placid, Arlington Road, The Haunting, Teaching Mrs. Tingle, Wild Wild West, Big Daddy, Mystery Men, The Iron Giant, Tarzan, Run Lola Run, The Phantom Menace, American Pie, Deep Blue Sea, and The Blair Witch Project. All are in theaters this week.
That's wild.
Oh. 99 was a great year for movies.
99 was crazy for movies, yeah. And at number 10 this week, a new biological chemical weapon that explodes up to temperatures over 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm trying to figure out that sentence. Falls into the hands of two men who try to make sure that it doesn't get stolen by a terrorist. Starring America's Sweethearts, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Skeet Ulrich.
Shit, it was like an ice cream truck that they were driving around.
I have not seen this, so you're ahead of me, Brian.
Fuck.
It does, yeah. Like
it is a temperature title.
It is a temperature title, absolutely. And the tagline is "Keeping cool is a matter of life and death."
Boiling point?
No, go the other temperature.
Freezing
point.
Close.
0 below.
It's called Chill Factor.
Chill Factor.
Okay.
Chill Factor. He has a chill factor.
I think the only reason I remember it is because I saw The Phantom Menace like a dozen times in the movie theater.
Was that on the Phantom Menace?
I think it was one of the trailers, or it was like a poster everywhere.
At number 9 this week.
9.
9. An English auctioneer proposes to the daughter of a mafia kingpin, only to realize that certain favors would be asked of him. starring Hugh Grant, James Caan, and Gene Triplehorn, a.k.a. Gene Triple Horny.
Somehow I anticipated Hugh Grant.
We
in
did.
this
I
role.
did say the phrase British
British auctioneer, yeah.
Somehow, I anticipated.
It's a romantic comedy you can't refuse.
Okay.
Oh.
The Family? In the Family.
It's
The Offer.
It's called
The Godfather's Daughter.
A Horse in My Bed.
it's called Mickey Blue Eyes.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Name. The name.
For that now.
My mom watched it.
It's all right.
I think-
you can.
I think a lot of mothers did. Yeah.
Yeah. Hugh Grant.
Somehow a dreamboat.
Yeah. At number 8 this week, Egypt is and ever was a place of mystery. Many rumors spread around the Great Pyramids of Giza.
The Mummy.
Nope.
No.
This
The
is
Scorpion King?
no. This is an IMAX documentary like
Mysteries of the Pyramids or something.
Ark of
close
the
close
Pharaohs.
Mysteries of Egypt.
Mysteries of Egypt.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen that in Germany on IMAX.
Narrated by Omar Sharif.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
At number 7 this week, with another British dreamboat, a very rich and successful playboy amuses himself by stealing artwork, but may have met his match in a seductive detective. This is a really good movie.
Thomas Crown Affair?
The Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Good for you. I thought it was still a little too early for that. Nice.
Yeah. How do you get the man who has everything as its tagline? I love old taglines. They're
Yeah.
so punny. Always.
Oh, it had to be.
There was a guy who just did that. Like that was his only job or her only job.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Well, that's
and
there's
They
a
made
guy,
millions.
like
They worked at marketing companies.
the studios
but that's all they did.
studios have people that just name the movies. Like if like sometimes they're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever the writer had. But like Pixar has a guy whose only job was to name the movies.
Yep.
And he got $1 million bonus for Cars.
I mean,
Yeah,
also
look back.
up. A
Up.
two-letter word.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, did he get money for Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4?
I hope so. He was like, wait,
Yeah.
guys, I got
I
it.
think that when you walk into Pixar, there's a big trunk of money, and you're just, you can just take it like a cereal bar in the break
Out of a
room.
T-shirt cannon. They're just like,
Yeah. Here's some money. We're Pixar.
They're like, don't let Disney know how we're spending this, though.
Yeah.
Like it costs them $7 to make a movie now. They're just spending it all on a good
Yeah,
time.
John Lasseter still sends the old invoices.
At number 6 this week, a man, having fallen in love with the wrong woman, is sent by the Sultan himself on a diplomatic mission to a distant land as an ambassador. Stopping at a Viking village port to restock on supplies, he finds himself unwittingly embroiled in a quest to banish a mysterious threat in a distant Viking land. That was a journey.
Whoa. 1999? That sounds like an 80s movie.
Right? It stars Antonio Banderas,
Oh,
from the author of Jurassic Park, who we'll be talking about quite a bit today, actually. And the
Crichton?
Michael Crichton?
That's a Crichton story?
apparently,
Vikings and
and the director of Die Hard. I think they mean. Oh, no, it says the author. I was thinking they were meaning the
not like the writer of the screenplay?
screenplay writer, but no, it says the author. So that would lead me to believe they mean Crichton.
It's not Airframe. Timeline?
No.
Viking.
It is starring Antonio Banderas.
everyone's favorite Viking.
Everyone, yeah. Well, no, he was sent by the Sultan, and he ended up with the Vikings.
Fair enough.
You know, the Sultan
Everyone's
himself.
favorite. Yeah.
Aladdin up north.
Aladdin goes
Hawaiian. Aladdin goes Scandinavian.
Patrol.
Yeah.
What?
Ernest saves the Sultan's swing.
It's the 13th Warrior.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That movie.
Weird. I've
Yeah.
never seen it. I know it exists.
I'm checking now. I'm looking.
Wait, isn't Jet Li in that?
No, that's
Again, these all feel like we were preparing for Y2K. We didn't have time for this shit.
right.
Dude, I feel like that's like all these movie production studios are like, we got to get them out before the end of the world, man. These people, you know, bred in circuses until the end.
I don't know. I'm trying to find Crichton anywhere on here, and he's not. However,
It was a novel from 1976. The novel was called Eaters of the Dead.
Okay, that would explain why
Eaters of the Dead.
I didn't find the 13th Warrior anywhere in my quick perusal of his Wikipedia page. At number 5 this week at the box office, when a desperate movie producer fails to get a major star for his bargain basement film, he decides to shoot the film secretly around him.
Oh, shit. This is Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy, right?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Bowfinger?
Bowfinger!
Yes, Bowfinger.
Wow, that was 99?
Yep.
It wasn't bad.
I thought that was so
the
much
idea
earlier.
was brilliant. It could have been executed a little better, but yeah.
It was a solid B-.
It's got some hilarious moments.
Well, and that idea of just surreptitiously like filming a movie around people.
Yeah. Oof. This is a real 1999 movie here. A reporter is assigned to write a story about a woman who has left a string of fiancés at the altar.
Runaway Bride.
Yep. Julia Roberts and Richard
We
Gere.
all knew.
The poster is her in a wedding dress, tightening up her running shoes.
Oh, I can
So
see
like
the poster in my head. I remember
So
the
can I.
poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch her if you can. Is the tagline.
Eat, pray, shut.
Joke's on you, Julia. I've been training for this since I was proposed.
I don't want to marry you.
Eat, pray, kill.
I hired the Terminator and the Predator to be at our wedding. Good luck. You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Run, Julia, run.
I just imagine the priest comes out. He's like, this is an unconventional wedding, folks. The bride has already been given a minute to escape. Let's all go out on the lawn and watch her escape these hired mercenaries.
Where there are canapes and mimosas being served.
If she is caught, the ceremony will continue, and there will
Up
be
those crazy legs.
afterward.
At number 3 this week, a young boy sees dead people.
Well, it's the Sixth Sense, but it's Sterabecca's.
No, it is Sterabecca's at number 3. Opening at number 3. Meanwhile, at number 2 this week, a young boy sees dead people.
For real, they were in the theater at the same time.
That is the
Sixth
Sixth
Sense?
Yep. The Sixth Sense.
So it was like the Armageddon, or no, wait, what was it?
Deep Impact and Armageddon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yes, all of those. Dante's Peak and
Yeah.
I can only think of one.
Ants and Bugs Life is the one that I always think of as a kid.
There you go.
But yeah, far out that they were both at the same time.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of the creepy kid, besides the like Korean horror movie, The Grudge and The Ring and stuff. But like, yeah, now it's so stock horror movie that I hate it. I just hate it so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kids don't creep me out.
Yeah, no, there's like
they aggravate me sometimes, or they amuse me, but
yeah,
they're like, go to your room, you little weirdo. Go read or draw.
Yeah, quit licking walls.
Yeah. Why are you standing at the end of a hall constantly? Go clean your room.
And opening at number 1 this week.
That's the hill I'm dying on, folks.
Yeah.
All right.
Opening at number 1 this week, Gabriel Byrne sees dead people. It's when a young woman becomes afflicted, a priest is sent to investigate her case, which may have severe ramifications for his faith and for the Catholic Church itself. It is not an exorcist movie.
No, but he is an exorcist, right?
Something like that. I think he's like the church's
I feel like I remember
investigator.
this.
I remember this movie. It's not great. Starring Patricia Arquette, Gabriel Byrne, as I mentioned, and Cusack, our third favorite Cusack, Jonathan Pryce, Nia Long, in Stigmata.
Oh.
Yeah.
Saw this around that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, the top 3 movies are all like vaguely horror related.
Good time for horror movies, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Plus
The fact that there are 2 Sixth Senses
yeah.
in theaters at the same time, I forgot that.
Yeah. Well, and
I know.
I mean, The Sixth Sense kind of came out of nowhere. Like no one was expecting it to be this giant thing.
But imagine being somebody's mother or aunt during this time and trying to describe to someone else and distinguish between these 2 movies.
Right.
Well, it had a little boy, and the little boy could talk to dead people. No, Bruce Willis wasn't in it. It must have been a terrible time.
Kevin Bacon, Bruce Willis. So that brings us to the film itself. This movie started out as a book by Richard Matheson called A Stir of Echoes. The film is just Stir of Echoes. They dropped the A. Like a girl in a club, they dropped the A. It was his, let's see, it was a 1958 novel, by the way. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was around for a while. I imagine people in the
wow.
50s were like, wow, a kid can see dead people. Crazy.
We'll never
Kids
see
can
this
talk.
one again.
Oh, wow. That's, I wonder there's some similarities, and I wonder what was updated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the book.
It doesn't say what it doesn't mention hypnotism. Just says a chance event awakens psychic abilities.
Yeah.
I wonder is it the same sort of crux, like a girl who was murdered and then hidden?
Yeah, it doesn't. It'd have to.
It does mention a message from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
That could
It's
be
funny,
anything, though.
Yeah.
We just finished watching Mike Flanagan's Fall of the House of Usher. It's a similar kind of thing with the masonry and secrets behind the wall.
Of course. The what was it? Cask of Amontillado?
Yes. Yeah, the entire Poe universe is adapted. That's just
Yeah.
Anyway.
But David Koepp wrote and directed this. David Koepp, best known as a screenwriter, but he has directed a few. He has writing credits on Death Becomes Her, Jurassic Park, Carlito's Way, our favorite Alec Baldwin vehicle, The Shadow.
Yeah.
Carlito's Way, though.
Yeah. Mission Impossible, The Lost World, Panic Room, Spider-Man,
Panic Room.
Zathura, both of the last 2 Indiana Jones movies, Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny.
I like any room can be a panic room if you just give me a fucking second.
He's a very well-known, well-respected, well-working Hollywood script guy. Films he's directed. This Prior to this, he wrote and directed a movie called The Trigger Effect in 1996, starring Kyle MacLachlan and Elizabeth Shue. Oh, and Dermot Mulroney.
Ooh, the Mulroney.
A veritable who's who of 1990s B-listers. After this, he directed something called Secret. Johnny Depp. Okay,
The Secret Window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
And 2008, he did Ghost Town, which is Ricky Gervais can see ghosts.
Oh right.
What if Ricky Gervais could talk to dead people?
Yeah, that elevator pitch.
Yeah. Oh my God! In 2020, he wrote and directed a film called "You Should Have Left," starring Kevin Bacon.
Oh.
About, let's see, the family books a vacation in Wales, but the house is haunted.
Look out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He really hits that theme, the dead people theme.
Time tested, kid tested, mother approved.
Yeah. Oof. So,
it was produced by Gavin Polone, who produces Curb, and if you've ever seen any of the Curb memes, his is the first name. So just so many times in this movie, it was like, "Bwom, bwom, bwom, da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da." The Gavin Polone. Yeah, so many times.
This was an Artisan Entertainment. It had no major studio behind it. Artisan, though, is are they still around?
I feel like yes, but
no.
Because I watch old movies too. So
yeah, no.
I watched it this week, so it was produced last week.
No, they folded in 2003 and became Lionsgate.
Oh.
They
Good
were
gate.
yeah. They started out as a subsidiary of Carol Co. Dear God.
Wow.
Yeah. That stars, of course, there's not much to like the background of this. David Koepp read the book and was like, "Hey, this would make a good movie," and pitched it and got funded. So, let's see. Originally, he wanted to make. He had an idea to make something closer to Duel. Okay, that's weird.
That is weird. In this movie? Or just in general he wanted to?
He was making a project and he was inspired by Duel, but then couldn't get anything going and instead found this book and decided to make this. Okay. Exciting story there. Stars Kevin Bacon. Of course, we have talked about Kevin Bacon before in, let's see, the X-Men First Class.
Oh, yeah, he was Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about him before.
Is that our only movie we've covered with Bacon? That seems crazy.
It does seem crazy. No. Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, I
was going to say the Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was a Christmas special. We definitely haven't done that.
Yeah, we didn't do the Christmas special.
I think we did it whatever weekend we did Mac and Me or Galaxy Quest.
We have not done any other Kevin Bacon movie.
We should do the Tremors
movie.
The Tremors series.
Oh,
because they're
those
nuts.
Would be cool.
They are.
Yeah, they are. I love Fred Ward too.
Yeah, Fred Ward. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
indeed.
Jude is barely aware of Kevin Bacon, because he's he kind of, I don't want to say he dried up, but he was much bigger in the 80s and 90s than he has been in our recent eras.
Well, he's never stopped working.
No, he's in. I mean, he's in.
He was just in a decent horror movie on Hulu, the They Them, about bigots and being very angry at woke culture. Horror stuff.
He's married to Kira Sedgwick.
Forever.
And oh my God, they lost all of their money to Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, they did.
Is that a thing that happened to a lot of celebrities? I didn't even. I guess I
Quite
was
a
too young
few,
to
but
see that
yeah,
happen.
that was the whole con, is that you know, these hedge funds, you go to really, really wealthy people, talk them into investing in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pyramid scheme. There was nothing to sell. He just told them, I can invest your money well.
Well,
and then just walked out of the room.
And frankly, that's why. That's
not failed ventures.
Yeah.
Just walked right out of the room.
I mean, frankly, that's why Madoff got treated so harshly, because he fucked over a lot of rich people.
Yeah, famous rich people.
Yeah,
he made them look silly.
Mm-hmm. We've got Catherine Irby. Catherine Irby as what was her name? Maggie. Kevin Bacon's wife in the film.
Marie, right? From Breaking Bad?
Yeah. Wait.
No,
not at
all.
That's not Marie?
No.
She was in What About Bob, Catherine Irby.
She was
the daughter in that. But also, she was on my favorite Law and Order, is Criminal Intent with Vincent D'Onofrio. She was D'Onofrio's partner through all that.
Oh, that's where I recognize her from.
That was probably the best Law and Order they made.
Yeah.
Criminal Intent.
Yeah, she was on that for 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's she's sitting at home getting residuals.
Yep. Yeah. if your career included dun dun, you're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Ileana Douglas as Lisa, famed character actress. Let's see, where to even start with her. She was. Let's see. 6 Feet Under is definitely something I remember her from.
Scorsese discovered her, I think, at the Actress Studio. I think she was one of those.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Allison Janney so much for some reason. I think it's the
Allison
tallness.
Janney's way better.
Yeah.
She was.
I never really liked Ileana Douglas.
She was dating Martin Scorsese, or was she married for 10 years?
So
89 to 97. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, those are prime. Goodfellas in there.
She's a nepo baby. She's related to Melvin Douglas.
Oh wow, I've heard about that.
Yeah. She's fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah. God, yeah. She's just a character actress. She's in a bunch of. She's like fifth on the call sheet in 100 movies. She was in Goodfellas.
She was in Ghost World. She was quite good in that.
Yeah. Cape Fear.
Cape Fear, yes.
Yeah. Like you said, Ghost World. The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Somebody had to.
Yeah. Yeah. She hasn't. Wow. Yeah, she's hasn't been in a film since 2016. She's done a little bit of TV, so she's seems to be semi-retired. But then we've got Kevin Dunn as Frank McCarthy.
Okay, I feel like that was a totally terrible casting choice.
Yeah, because
he does not seem like a peer of Kevin Bacon. He seems older.
Yeah.
And more, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy Kevin Bacon would hang out with, I feel like. Even if he lived 3 doors down from him.
Well, right, a guy from the neighborhood like that character Lenny, that I'm sure we'll talk about. But but it just wasn't right. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like a Bruno Kirby type thing, but wait.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
No, I know what you mean. He's well, he's like he plays a lot of the grumpy like political guy a lot. He was in Dave, Godzilla.
He's on Veep and he's fantastic.
Veep.
He's like a political headhunter strategist kind of guy, and so good.
Yeah,
he pops up. He's not bad.
Yeah, he's another big character actor. He's been in a ton of things.
Right.
Ghostbusters 2, Beethoven's Second.
I just think there's probably a younger, schleppier guy.
Yeah. Oh, he played Charles Colson in Nixon. Huh.
So I don't know how old Kevin Bacon was how old Tom was supposed to be in this movie, but Kevin Bacon was 40.
I mean, aesthetically,
when this was filmed, but yeah, I was.
But Kevin
almost,
Bacon was.
I was almost.
Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out that he was 40 when this was filmed because he looked so good.
Yeah, he was playing younger. I feel like he was playing like 30, maybe 35 tops.
I thought maybe even a little younger than that. I thought maybe 30.
Yeah, 30.
They mentioned that he and Maggie had been together for 8 years.
Right. Yeah. So that they stayed together after Jake.
Yeah.
Was born because he's, what do you think, 6?
5. They say
7?
5 in the.
Oh, he's 5. Okay.
They say 5. Right. Yeah.
So 3 years and then 5 with the kid. But they seem closer to 30, or at least he does, because he's really heavy on my dreams. Like, I'm not going to be a lineman forever.
Yeah, this movie is super dude who's just realizing that his dreams of being a rock star aren't going to happen.
He can barely play the fucking guitar, man. It's never going to happen.
He doesn't recognize the riff.
It's like,
yeah, no,
to paint it black.
He doesn't recognize the riff to paint it black. How good of a musician can he be? But yeah, no, Josh, like you were saying, you at 40, you're like, okay.
At 40, you're like, I have to afford braces. So your dreams,
dental plan.
Yeah, it's like, did you have dreams? How quaint. But 30, Yeah. But anyways, I'm with Al. That's a good looking 40. He's just, I like me, the Baconator. We grew up.
The Baconator. And Louise Strauss as Sheila, Frank's wife. She's
again older. She went to high school with them. She seems so much older than Maggie.
She's younger than any of them, actually.
Wow.
I don't know about Maggie. Let me see. Maggie actually is young. Catherine Irby.
She's young. Yeah, she's young.
No, like Sheila, the wife, was younger than any of the other 3 actors in those 2 couples.
She comes off as so much older.
I know.
Okay, so they are a little older than Maggie, and they have to be because their son's in high school. He's a high school football player.
Yeah.
Compared to their 5-year-old.
I get the feeling
it's probably a neighborhood relationship rather than school.
Because I get the idea that like this is a close-knit neighborhood. Kevin Bacon and what's-her-face just moved there 6 months ago, and they're getting to know everybody in the neighborhood, and they're making friends with the neighborhood people. It's weird they don't have friends outside the neighborhood.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that probably. Chicago and the block parties. And,
there's that. But
insular, the neighborhoods.
But they just moved there, and he was in a band. Like, you think he'd have some friends who are like, "Hey, you're hanging out with all these neighborhood people. You don't have time for us anymore."
6 months is surprising.
Yeah.
When you find out it's only been 6 months.
Yeah. The Jennifer Morrison played Samantha, the ghost. She
with the most.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we talked about him last.
Let's see. She is probably best known as playing Emma Swan in Once Upon a Time. That's the lead character from that show. She also played Winona Kirk in the 2009 reboot of Star Trek. That's James T. Kirk's mother.
Winona.
Yeah. And other than that, she was one of Ted's love interests in How I Met Your Mother. Those are best known for. And Lisa Well played Debbie Kozak, the babysitter, Samantha's sister. She's best known as Paris from Gilmore Girls. She also spent some time on How to Get Away with Murder. 6 years she played an attorney on that show.
Did she get away?
Yeah.
I've never watched How to Get Away with Murder.
The first season's pretty good.
So when I finally commit murder, it's going to go terribly.
Yes.
It's got Viola Davis, so you can't really complain.
Yeah.
So that's about it for the production. Like I said, there's not a lot.
Before we move on, I looked up more on Richard Matheson. He wrote a lot of novels and for film and TV. Some of his novels included I Am Legend, The Shrinking Man, and What Dreams May Come.
Oh,
so
Huh.
Debbie's reading The Shrinking Man.
Yeah.
The sister, babysitter.
That's right.
Wow.
He wrote a lot of
Not exactly a lightweight.
short stories. He wrote for the Twilight Zone and wrote a lot of short stories that became the Twilight Zone, including Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
Oh, wow.
Um,
The most famous, arguably the most famous.
Yeah.
yeah. He wrote for film The House of Usher, Pit and the Pendulum, and The Raven.
Wow, the Vincent Price ones?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess the dates would tell me the 60s.
He wrote Jaws 3D.
Oh my God. It's one of my first movie memories. Not first, but
Hey,
early.
right? Jaws 3D. This time in 3D. That's it. Boom. Done.
No, it was at a SeaWorld. It was like at an ocean park.
And you went in a tube underwater, and the shark started ramming the tube to get the people, and it started shattering.
And
So it was like an experience? Not a movie?
No, he just started attacking because Dennis Quaid's a part of the family.
No.
You know how
In the movie.
the sharks hated that family.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's personal.
Yeah.
The shark hated the
Oh my
Quaids?
God. What is it? What was it? Jaws 4 when they went to the Caribbean?
And it was called this.
Yeah.
The tagline was "This time it's personal," because
Yeah.
the shark
She was
hated
the
that
last
family
one.
particularly.
The Brodies. Hated the Brodies. That's
Wow.
The shark.
We should do the shark movies. We should do the Jaws series.
Oh, the Jaws.
Well, and we
series.
should say the Sharks family also hated this family because it's not
Yeah, it's
Bruce the
different
Shark.
shark.
That one
It's,
does
it's
die.
a family feud.
It is. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys.
of the ocean. Of the ocean.
For television, like I said, he wrote 16 episodes of The Twilight Zone, and a bunch of other stuff. But an episode of Star Trek, the 5th episode in the first season, The Enemy Within,
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
That was a good one.
the one
That
where
is-
transporter accident splits Kirk's good and bad personalities.
Yep.
Yep.
The transporter.
So he's even more lecherous. Like he's just more of a.
Didn't that
Sex
happen with number 2 also with
yeah,
Frakes?
Riker. Riker got
There's
split
like
into
a
two.
Bizarro Riker.
Yeah.
And
And he like
same
gave him
kind
his
of
trombone
energy.
or something.
Same
He's like-
kind of like my jumpsuit's a little smaller.
Thomas
than it
Riker.
should be.
He took the middle name. He was
Thomas
Thomas
Riker.
Riker.
Yep.
But he, Thomas Riker, he wasn't evil, and like he went and had his own life.
But
he was just an independent Riker.
But he showed up on Voyager and was evil again, which was hilarious because the episode where he
Riker's
shows up
Island.
on Voyager, they think it's regular Riker, but then he pulls off his fake sideburns and he's Thomas Riker with just a goatee.
Oh my God, I love that.
Futuristic spirit gum.
He was
and
in that.
fake-
He was in that that secret alliance that was fighting a war. God, what was that group called? Al, the secret army that was fighting. I forget who it was.
the Hessians.
The Bene Gesserit. No, it's something like that though. It's some alien name.
Yeah.
The Zindi?
No.
Oh no, that was Enterprise. I'm sorry.
They were fighting like
You
it was like a quiet Vulcan
And what-
group that had like
In Deep
acquired
Space
a
Nine,
bunch of
right?
different races.
In Deep Space Nine?
It's in DS9.
Yeah.
It was what were they called? They were the Bajoran were a lot in it, right?
I know what you're talking about because I watched Deep Space Nine more than Voyager, but I
Yeah,
can't think of their name.
yeah. That's where I think of
The Maquis.
Thomas Riker. The Maquis.
Oh,
Yes.
Half
you.
half of Voyager, the half of the Voyager crew was Maquis people.
It was like a rebellion or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek. It got crazy in the late 90s when they were just like, we're just throwing out a bunch of shit here, guys. Everything's
Rick Berman.
going- Yeah. No,
Rick Berman was still in charge. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, we're just going to keep making stuff happen. Whereas now they're like, we're going to make sure nothing ever happens and we're only going in the past. Except for Picard, which is,
Well, yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Which eventually ended up in the past.
Yeah.
They're just-
Second season.
Such a shame.
They're They're just treating it better. You know, even J.J. Abrams, I'll give him that credit. Rick Berman didn't care. He's like, this is my space ATM. As soon as Gene Roddenberry died, that gap between Roddenberry and like it till Rick Berman was gone, it was real like whatever I say.
Trek and Wars, though, I have the same problem with Trek and Wars' current place in that they refuse to do anything new. Everything has to be set within time periods we're very familiar with. They won't go into the future.
Yeah. Because look.
Except Discovery.
Oh yeah, Disco did go like 3,000 years into the future from 3,000 years in the future.
Disco, I love that.
That's true. That's true. But that's far enough in the future.
All their crew shirts say Disco on it, and I fucking love it.
I wish they're like, no, yeah.
That's far enough in the
NCC Studio 54.
3,000 years in the future is far enough that it may as well just be a different thing altogether.
Yeah, it's all nanites and shit too. It's like it just feels like modern sci-fi.
So, all right, Stir of Echoes was not reviewed by Siskel and Ebert. This came around right at the time when Siskel was dying.
Before Roper.
Yeah, so they didn't do this one, but it does have some. Let's see, it has 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a few Letterboxd reviews. The Greek Geek writes, "Mom, can we get 6 cents? Mom, we have 6 cents at home."
Okay.
3 stars. Spieg writes, "Well, shit, I bought a used Blu-ray of this a few months back, complete with fingerprints of an ungrateful person who inexplicably picks up the disc on the playable side. Why do people do this? Look at any new purchased disc of mine and you'll find nary a fingerprint on them. And if so, it's likely to be used for identification evidence of my offspring's future misdeeds rather than confirm my own ownership. Oh well, this is a problem that will someday be obsolete anyways. Enough old man get off my lawn ranting. I come to find out the disc is unplayable for unknown reasons. I see no visible scratches, and I've had other discs with fingerprints before play just fine. So I went ahead and purchased the movie from Apple because the price was reasonable there. 2.5 stars.
Is that guy a ghost haunting the internet? What is that?
I don't know, but I want to talk to him.
I don't want to get stuck in that conversation. That's gonna last forever.
He reviewed a shopping experience.
Yeah. He reviewed he didn't even review the shopping experience, just the bottom of the DVD.
No, he told us he got it used.
That's true. That's true.
Was unplayable.
Beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. And ended up buying it on Apple because the price was
Hearing it was unplayable. That was the punchline right in the middle.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get to a review, and he's like, it wasn't unplayable.
I thought it was a commentary on like him flipping through all the records in the movie, but no, it's just
No, it was
somebody give this man a different Blu-ray, I guess.
He went on Letterboxd and decided everyone needs to know how
And he couldn't watch the movie.
Let's see. User Billy writes, "This movie made me change my rating of Twilight, 0.5 star."
What? How?
I guess
I thought he never would.
Yeah, I guess he's saying it was so bad that it made Twilight look good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Paul Carstairs right. My favorite game to play is called Stir of Echoes. Here's how to play. Sit in an empty theater and pretend you're Kevin Bacon. 5 stars.
I've done that.
That's what I did when watching Stir of Echoes in the theaters. That's fucking... People are so weird on these websites. Did we get a gay review? Because we get a lot of shirtless Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I could not find gay anywhere.
Digging.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Guys, are we ready to jump into the movie?
I'm kind of in the middle of something here.
Here we go. This is Stir of Echoes. We open on a house in a working class neighborhood in Chicago. Inside, Jake, a little boy, is taking a bath and talking to his invisible friend. His dad plays guitar in the next room. His dad is Tom Witzke. Tom goes downstairs. He gets Jake out of the bath, then goes downstairs. We meet his wife Maggie and her sister Lisa.
That's when it's revealed that Jake is talking to his imaginary friend.
Yeah.
You don't really know because he's doing the little kid thing of just speaking while he's playing.
But he's talking straight into camera too, which I thought was an interesting technique.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
And then he stares at the window and just says,
I'm not saying it's a reveal.
What does he say?
You're right. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. What's it like being dead? Or
does it hurt to be dead?
To be dead.
Yeah.
Right. And they show that there's no one there. So that was a reveal, but it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We find out, Lisa is into horoscopes and the paranormal. She spills the beans that Maggie is pregnant again, which never comes up again, actually.
Yeah.
No, in fact, she's quite reckless.
Yeah, a pregnant lady should not be doing those things. She never goes to a doctor once. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of like that thread just completely is abandoned immediately after that.
It's set up strictly as a way to make us understand that Kevin Bacon is disappointed in how his life's turned out.
And that the sister is a witch.
Yeah, so he makes that Dionne Warwick joke, which was a thing. She was a spokesman for the Psychic Friends Network. Television.
There was a point in the late 90s. Dionne Warwick and Miss Cleo were the two late night psychic ladies.
They're like $3.99.
Dionne's incredible, though. Still incredible. Still doing it. Still funny.
Whitney
She's
Houston's
so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Dionne Warwick's Twitter was amazing.
The SNL bits about her, the Dionne Warwick talk show, are my favorite thing that they've been doing recently. That's like my favorite recurring bit.
Yeah, no, she's hilarious these days. But anyways, Tom doesn't take it well. He later apologized to Maggie. We learned he wanted to be a professional musician when he was younger. Now he's just a lineman, a Chicago lineman, not a Wichita lineman.
Not for the county, for the city.
Yeah.
His name's Witzke. Is this our first Polish representation?
Maybe
in film. I can't think of a Polish.
Probably not in film.
They finally got the screen door off the submarine and made it over.
Are there any Polak superheroes? Anybody?
I can't think of any. My wife
in Chicago. Yes,
my wife is like 75% Polish. So
maybe one of the mystery men was Polish.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone somewhere. Probably what's his face? What's his
Which
Fargo,
one of the 100 plus
Fargo guy seemed Polish.
Oh yeah. I can't even think of his name. Ned Flanders.
Yeah. His wife went to jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for giving money to the school, right?
For bribing a school to take their daughter, which
William H. Macy.
William H. Macy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty Irish sounding.
Well, no, I'm saying if one of the mystery men were going to be Polish, it would have been his character that seemed Polish.
Oh, in Mystery Men. I've lost.
Or Janine Garofalo. I don't know.
Yeah. But so anyways, Tom puts Jake to bed. And Maggie and Lisa are the two sisters in this.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And they have a brother who they never mentioned the name of. I wonder if his name was Bart.
That would be hilarious.
I'm going to have to check out that. No, it's Steve. It's Steve.
That's right, Steve.
The thing
because Steve's calling. Yeah.
So close, guys. You could have done a thing. So yeah, they go to a nearby house party. So they go to a lot of functions in this, like a lot of functions
without their child.
Yeah.
What did you call this, Thoreau? Somebody made a baby monitor joke in the chat.
Yeah, I think it was Al.
Something.
Yeah,
but there are a lot of little block parties that do happen in Chicago. But yeah, the football game they're going to go to is just bizarre.
Yeah,
it's a high school football game.
Yeah, doesn't it look like that's fucking Wrigley Field that it security wands, and then even we're not there yet. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, a lot of weird events that they all go to.
A lot of events, not much work, and I understand he like takes some time off, but when they say like if he doesn't go to work tomorrow, they're going to start docking him. Like that dude got fired. Let's be clear, Kevin Bacon got fired.
But again, the '90s. Look at that house they're renting.
Yeah,
and he alone said the water bill, which I believe was $800. You know, so it's just funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a lineman. He's probably doing pretty well. He's probably union.
Yeah, as a union
I'm
member
sure.
can't get fired.
Oh, it wasn't far fetched. I was feeling nostalgic.
Absolutely. No, sometimes
Remember when there was money around?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember when your job paid you well, regardless of what it was?
There was just money around.
Oh,
people in general had, even broke people. such as myself.
Somehow I was unemployed for most of the 90s, yet did fine somehow.
Yeah.
I started working at 14, and it was great for a long time.
So yeah, they're at the party. They bring the baby monitor with them. Is this at the what's his face's house? Frank and Sheila's house?
I think so.
I think so.
Because he goes across the street again.
It is right across the street.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then it's not at their house because they lived on the same side of the street, like a couple doors down.
I thought it was Frank's.
I don't think it was Frank's because they crossed the street to get.
No, I'm sorry, Harry.
The
cop/landlord.
The landlord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentions being on the force and he's going to retire soon. That was his idea with flipping the houses.
Okay, and he's becoming a landlord to have some passive income while he's retired. Yeah. Gotcha.
See, if he were a good cop, he would have been killed the day before retirement.
Yes.
When Lenny, the annoying guy,
not
walks
Lenny.
Up,
there's a Lenny.
Frank.
There a Carl.
Frank says to Harry, "Why'd you invite this guy?"
Okay.
Right. Frank doesn't like him. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. So
Lenny, you wouldn't be saying that if Lenny and I played Mr. Smith. Well, were you sexiest man alive? Well, I don't know about Lenny.
I love how there was a few seasons there where Marge got really concerned with Lenny and loved Lenny.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He made a framed picture of him that was signed.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to his house. That was after they went to his house for the first time, right?
She was knitting things.
No,
for him.
when Homer's like, Marge, something happened to Carl and Lenny. Not Lenny.
Lenny.
So yeah, they're at the party. It's getting late. Most people have gone home. Lisa's talking about her studies in hypnotism.
It was a very Gen X-y 90s hangout.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they're all dressed and her like mention of Shirley Manson in like the first scene. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me a lot of memories.
Very Gen X. Very older Gen X. Yeah. Yeah, so they let's see. Tom's a skeptic. He doesn't believe in hypnotism and he challenges her to hypnotize him. So she does quite easily. He has there's a whole theater thing. We see some.
Which was probably the most interesting filmmaking in it.
Yeah. Was
the theater shit.
That was interesting. The red flash I thought was an interesting little touch.
Yeah.
There were some touches. It was competently directed with a few flourishes that were interesting. It was by no means.
That's what I mean. A lot of it was.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
There was by no means a great authorial stamp of directing on it, but yeah, it was
for sure.
Yeah, it was competent. Let's see. So she hypnotizes him, and when he wakes up, he's pretty shaken by the experience. He apparently did and said things he regrets. We've all been there.
Maybe they were anti-Semitic. It was borderline. Just a lot of things came out.
He's really thirsty. I've been in this position.
Yeah. So there's also a time jump. He's not aware how long he's been under.
Yeah, it's been a while. So anyways, he and Maggie go home.
I'm sorry. Not only has it been a while, it's been long enough that they were experimenting on his body. Like,
yeah, they were putting pins
she
through
stabbed
him.
one hand. And
Apparently, the pin going through the hand was not a special effect. A stuntman agreed to let them poke a pin through his hand.
Wow.
yeah, I've met that guy
Sure.
at a party. It took a lot less. Probably.
Yeah. It took like, bet me a beer.
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing that.
You're like, no. All right, I'll do it anyway. Yeah.
Sometimes it was as easy as, do you dare me?
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy that's going to do it asking you. It's like, why don't you just jump that part and do it?
Yeah. So yeah, they go home. He can't sleep. They have sex. He begins having weird visions. He goes, his tooth comes out in a vision. He's very thirsty, goes downstairs, sits on the couch where he sees the apparition of a teenage girl reaching out and yelling for him.
What does she say? Does she ask, can you see me? Or
she
can
says,
you hear me?
She says, you can hear me, can't you?
Okay. Yeah. Here. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I was getting that. So.
She disappears, but then we see Jake, who's woken up, standing at the top of the stairs saying appropriately kid horror movie creepy things.
Just creepy shit.
You're awake now, aren't you, Daddy?
Aren't you, Daddy? We didn't mention that everybody practiced their Chicago accent just by watching those SNL sketches.
That's what in the chat you mentioned The Shining. And I was like, "Duh, Shining."
Shining. Yeah. It was just over the top. Everybody sounded like Harry Carey.
Yeah, absolutely. The next day, Tom goes to work and calls Lisa from the phone line, from the pole. He's on a pole and just calls her.
Yeah, you still do that.
It's kind of crazy to me that we still have so many like just phone lines out in the world when they're so underused at this point.
We still have horses, man.
Yeah, well, no.
Mostly
not the same.
But they're not going down the street every day.
I'd say mostly businesses still have phone lines.
Yeah. But
like landlines.
But even half of those are
they've been converted.
Are VoIP.
They've found different things to use the fiber optic cable when they updated all of those.
Yeah, but those are underground, like just like the phone lines.
No, you're right. There are tons that are, yeah.
And there's like 4 calls happening. It's like my mom just calling the electric company twice a week for no reason. But yeah. So
for no reason,
she's just like the lights flickered for a few minutes last Tuesday, guys. Guys, what should we do about this?
No, that's the hotline updates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's in her 70s. That is what it's kind of what she does. It's call people with very worried about things that are not worrisome.
Speaking of call, though, we were at a Spirit Halloween or wherever they had Halloween decorations, and it was this old timey phone, like very, very old timey phone, and you pick it up and ha 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 ha. And I was like, a real phone call terrorizes me more than this old timey skeleton phone. Just a regular call on my. Oh my God, unknown. What do I do?
Yeah, no, no. If I get a call on my phone, I'm like, and it doesn't say scam likely, then I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know, and I throw the phone and run away.
What do I do?
She says he learns that Lisa gave him a post-hypnotic suggestion to be open to all things around him.
Yeah.
He's like, so I'm gay.
Everything.
I see ghosts. For
influenza.
Meanwhile, at home, Maggie's trying to find a babysitter for Jake that night because they're going to yet another function. And an unseen person named Samantha tells Jake to tell his mom to call Vanessa about Debbie.
Yeah.
Samantha told Jake to tell Maggie to call Vanessa to ask about Debbie.
Yeah. Jake is in their Tupperware sewing circle.
Yeah. Debbie arrives to babysit, and Tom instantly gets a weird feeling about her. We get the red flash.
It's more recognition than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. He's creeped out. Like he's freaked, but yeah.
Yeah.
He knows her from somewhere, you can tell.
Yeah. It's just like a, what is this? Something's happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he and Maggie head to a high school football game, which, as Josh mentioned, seems to have roughly the same amount of people going to it and the same amount of security as your average Super Bowl.
Right. It's insane. And then even the Go Tigers sign in the whole neon, like it's a dive bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blinking in and out. It's like, do they play in a fucking bar?
Right. I've lived in the Midwest. High school football is not that big there. It's not like
rural
Texas.
areas.
Sure, but not in Chicago, not in a city.
Not in a block, not in a neighborhood. That was huge. I don't know. I lived in Chicago for a short amount of time, but I was very near to Wrigley Field. That looked like even more intense than getting into Wrigley Field.
The mass of people trying to crowd through into the gates was insane. Yeah.
And of course, Kevin Bacon's character is increasingly getting freaked out, which I don't blame him. It's starting to have like Brazilian soccer match vibes. Just everyone smashed against the fence.
Like, guys, it's high school.
It's high school.
Like, why are this many people showing up to this game at all? It should be the parents and like a chunk of the students. That's it.
Oh, everyone. I wonder what the gambling spread is.
Right. Meanwhile, at home. Oh, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, back at home, Debbie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. On the walk. Also, this is where we get Frank regaling Tom with how good at football his son is. A lot of rushing yards.
And picking up chicks.
Yeah. Yes.
He said that he already surpassed him in the tail department when he was 14.
Yes. So
gross, double gross. Why are you talking to me? We've known each other for.
Yeah, that's not. As a dad, I'm don't need to hear about that. So back at home, Debbie, the babysitter, overhears Jake on the baby monitor talking to Samantha. When she goes upstairs and confronts him, she gets upset when he tells her it was Samantha and takes him and runs off into the night. Tom senses tingling.
It totally is. No, his bacon
sense. My bacon sense is also tingling, but it's a little different than his.
He's all Peter Porker. All
right. He runs back home. Maggie goes after him. He runs home and finds that she's gone with Jake, but he gets psychic flashes of where to go. He follows her to a train station where they find Debbie with Jake. They grab Jake back. Cop comes up. They accuse her of kidnapping Jake, and she says she was just bringing him there to talk to her mother who works there.
It builds some suspense. You don't know why that's happening. It's like, is she in a cult? Like, I don't know. It's fun for a moment.
For a minute, you don't know what's going on. But we find out that Debbie's sister has been missing for 6 months. She has an intellectual disability. When they get home...
Which Lenny calls her the R word, and Kevin comes to her defense. I thought that was progressive.
No,
I thought they were just
Frank. Frank comes to her defense.
Oh, Frank's. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I expected him just to let it lie, but good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's still the 90s, so slow was where we were at.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting there.
So
White guys were getting there, everybody.
we were only 85% terrible.
Well, if you forget about the murders and the covering up of the murders.
Listen,
He's woke.
Sexual assault is.
Well, yes, actually, yeah, they talk about that. And then that became all too real about the, ruining a young man's life.
Yeah, that was.
We got the Brock Turner treatment in this one.
Yes, that's his name. I knew it was Brock something.
Mm-hmm.
Never
But
forget.
every time, yeah.
Yep. Fucking Brock Turner. Rapist Brock Turner.
Yes.
So, they get home. They asked Jake how he knew about Debbie to tell his mom to hire her.
He's like, oh, I know Debbie.
It's like, they're like, Jake, how did you know that Maggie should call Vanessa about Debbie? He tells them that Samantha told him all about her. Tom gets kind of intense about all this. Jake says he doesn't want to talk about it anymore because it's scaring his mom. This is the point where Tom completely checks out. And is just all ghosts all the time.
And yeah,
he gets real into his hobbies. But later at yet another neighborhood block party, Tom begins asking the neighbors about Samantha, including his landlord Harry, Frank, and their sons, who are the football players Kurt and Adam, who all just.
I'm sorry. I will put that. At first, God damn it! What's Kevin Bacon's name?
Tom.
He comes off as the real weirdo here for a second. He's like, so what makes you ask? Well, I've been thinking about her a lot lately.
You've been thinking about a runaway teenage girl you never met?
Yeah, the cop is like, why?
Yeah.
Don't be in a situation where you let a cop ask why. You're already in too deep.
No, if a cop is asking you why, you best just ask for a lawyer.
Yeah. Why are you thinking that?
Yeah. They dismiss her as a runaway teen. We learned that Harry's just fixed up the house that Tom and Maggie live in. Maggie tells Lisa about how obsessed Tom is becoming. Later, Tom has a prophetic dream in which Frank tells Tom that they're going to kill you and Maggie both. And then Frank's son Adam shoots himself. He wakes up, goes down the street, and hears Adam shooting himself in the house. He rushes in to help. We cut to later. The police and paramedics arrive, and Adam is rushed to the hospital.
This scene was so confusing for me. I had to rewind this twice to realize, like, oh, this is a dream. Oh, wait, now he's awake. And when they're outside and the ambulances are coming, it was just really like lots of shuffling around.
Yeah, it was interesting what they did with the dog and the male person, because in the dream, he sees the dog, and then he sees the male person in the yard, going into the yard next door. Then he goes in the house, hears the dog barking, and then Adam shoots himself. And then in real life, he's like a few steps behind because he's walking down the street. Mm-hmm. He sees the dog, but the male person goes into the dog's yard and starts barking. And then he hears the gunshot.
So yeah, a few seconds to play. So if Adam really did shoot himself in the chest, that is an ineffective way to kill.
Well, that's why he didn't die. Turns out he didn't die.
It was like the side. He got which is a weird way to do it.
But you drown in your own blood, I guess.
I mean, it's not good for you. I'll give you that. Yeah. But
it decreases.
You don't want any lead inside you.
Increases the likelihood that you would miss, as opposed to a headshot.
Yeah.
Kurt
Cobain didn't shoot himself in the chest.
You could shoot yourself in the testicles and you would die.
Sure.
a lot of blood there.
Sure.
But a lot of chances to not die.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's gonna be longer than you would like it to be. Between the being shot and the being dead.
So please spend a little more go for a never.
Yeah.
Just buy a better bullet, I guess, if you're going to shoot yourself in the
better
chest.
bullet.
Hey, it's 2023,
Is
baby.
that your rap album?
Buy a better bullet. Damn.
Pick a bigger weapon.
So, yeah. So at that point, Maggie decides to take Jake for a walk rather than watch the ambulance.
It's an endearing moment.
It is when they're doing
mother and son.
Yeah.
Well,
Before it takes a fucking left turn.
yeah.
Before we learned that, unfortunately, Jake enjoys bagpipe music.
Yeah.
That is, unfortunately. Oh, it's beautiful. Incorrect.
It is not, Jake.
You were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I love funerals. They're so pretty. So
Oh
much
my God.
grass everywhere.
I used to work at Old Chicago. I don't know if anybody remembers that restaurant. Anyways, beer, pizza. St. Patrick's Day was huge for them, obviously, big college bar, but bagpipers every year, and not just on the patio. They would let them come inside like mariachis, and it was enough to stab yourself or someone else in the face. Like you're trying to take orders, you're trying to deliver orders.
I did an event at a church in Hawaii, and they had a
Scottish
bagpiper group playing Christmas music.
I hope it was
I wanted to
July.
die.
I was always like,
luckily it was December, but it was the worst thing I've ever heard. My ears
I
hurt.
would always
for days.
grumble about that being Scottish music and not Irish music, but nobody listened. And every year.
Hey,
So anyways.
yeah. Actually, what the fuck? That is Scottish.
There should have been drunk guys reciting plays or poetry and half crying and half praying.
Yeah, it is.
That's Irish.
It is Scottish. The Dropkick Murphys have a lot to answer for.
Yeah, they're just from Boston. I don't know. I don't give them any credit for anything besides getting me drunk as a kid.
I was just complaining about Old Chicago. As far as the big picture, that's I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I didn't want him in the building. But Danny likes him.
Yeah, so,
bagpipes inside
Jake
are terrible. Danny.
Yeah, no. At one point, when he said
This
"Daddy,"
is when it gets
when he
shiny.
said "Daddy," Jude turned to me and was like, "Did he call him Danny?" But
well, now he may as well be Danny. So he's in the graveyard.
Yeah, no. So they see there's a magic black man.
Scatman Carruthers.
He's bald.
Exactly.
He's basically
Right.
Scatman Carruthers. Yeah.
But before that, his mom's like, Danny, what are you doing? We're not supposed to be here. Danny should have been like, my taxes are paying for this funeral. I'm going to stand here. But yeah, all of a sudden there's a magical black character, and he's a bald black guy.
Yeah, little on the nose there, guys.
Little Dick Halloran.
Yeah, so they
He waves to Jake knowingly.
He waves to him. Then Jake and Maggie frolic off between the graves. He comes and finds them and talks to Maggie about Jake's psychic abilities. Tells her that Tom is invited to a private gathering of like-minded individuals. To learn more about him and Jake's psychic powers.
Or consult your local library.
Yeah. Later that night, Jake teaches Tom to play some stones.
Yeah. What about if you put it here, Daddy?
Be like, bro, like it's a simple minor scale. Why are you not hitting the right notes?
Give me a real Phil Spector vibe here, Jay.
Yeah.
I don't feel safe.
So Maggie, instead of telling Tom about the Shining meeting, goes to the meeting herself.
First, you get yourself a dashiki. Then,
yes, he was wearing a dashiki.
And everyone he's a cop, right?
Yeah.
He's a cop?
Yeah.
Wow. Really, like everyone is equal inside that building because those people are talking to that man.
They really are. But like the people in there were like, hey, man, shut the door, man.
It's not a freak show in here, man.
Yeah.
This cop.
There were bad vibes in there. Like, it was not a cool
What were they
meeting.
going to teach Kevin Bacon?
Right. So yeah, Neil tells her the spirit that contacted Tom has asked for something and will get increasingly upset if it doesn't happen.
Then that dude dips out of the movie.
Yeah, it's like, my work here is done. And she never tells Tom about him, which might actually be helpful to Tom.
I could have, yeah.
Then at home, Samantha begins hanging out around Maggie, ruining her bath. We see they have the world's creepiest basement.
Yeah.
We had our house in Milwaukee was built in, I think, like 1902 or something, and the basement, there was like a couple like of those creepy like root cellar rooms in the basement that we called like the Blair Witch room.
Yeah. Those are, yeah. Back east too. There are some creepy basements.
Yeah,
in my day.
So then Samantha makes Jake watch Night of the Living Dead for a while instead of HR Puffin stuff.
Yeah, which was creepy in its own right.
Right. Maggie goes downstairs
Was that HR Puffin stuff?
It wasn't. It was a Croft.
It looked like a Sid and Marty Croft show.
Yeah, it was a Sid and Marty Croft, but I don't think it was actually HR Puffin stuff.
I was gonna say, because I've never seen it. I just know it as a name.
But it was a 1970s Sid and Marty Croft show for sure.
Yeah. They had specials.
Yeah. So anyways, Maggie goes downstairs to check the water heater and gets a head injury. She really should have gotten some medical attention for that. Honestly, she was bleeding pretty heavily as a pregnant lady. Yeah.
This wasn't normal pregnant.
Yeah.
Bleeding.
So then Tom is busy listening to a CD collection, and he has a vision of the house under construction. Samantha's there. She reaches out to him and touches him, turning him cold, making it so he can't breathe. She's trying to tell him something, but Maggie pulls him out of the vision.
I think it's cool, the physiological effects that we see Kevin Bacon experiencing.
Yeah.
Like he's feeling being choked. He's feeling his fingernails getting ripped off.
Yeah.
I like that. He's opening his mind
temperature
to every part of that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. He felt the teenage boys trying to, anyways. Yeah. Tom goes to Lisa's house where seems to be on a date with a Spanish-speaking lady.
Yeah, seems like it.
Carlita, I think she calls her.
Yeah, Carlita. Yeah, they just got high apparently. He asked her to rehypnotize him to take away the visions, but it goes wrong, and instead Samantha implants a message in his brain that he has to dig. If it was the 1960s, he would have been like, "I dig it all, man."
Yeah.
The next day, Maggie arrives home to find the fridge fully stocked with orange juice, and Tom and Jake digging in the backyard. There were a couple.
That was funny. That was cute. The kid digging.
There was some moments that were really cute in kind of this area, mostly where he was like, "Don't worry, it's not over there."
It's not over there.
Yeah.
And no.
When he goes inside and pours 2 glasses of orange juice, chugs his own, and then immediately is like, "You gonna drink that?" To the
I know.
glass of orange juice
it's like
he poured for her that she was not interested in at all.
Right, as if it's a really good reserve bourbon or something.
Yeah.
You gonna drink that?
Yeah. So Maggie gets angry at Tom. Tom insists what he's doing is important, that he has to keep doing it. He kind of yells at her. She gets mad. She goes inside. She got a letter faxed to. Yeah, we haven't talked about the fax machine.
That's right.
In the house. Her brother faxes her a letter.
I mean,
what?
It was there, I think, for Tom to get jobs, because he's a lineman, so it's probably a private contractor. But
Sure.
yeah, then to have other characters use the fax machine in the 1999.
That was hilarious.
Funny.
That was hilarious. I've never faxed anyone a private message in my life.
No. In fact, I've hated having to fax times that I did.
Only since only since the pandemic has fax become not the only way to electronically transmit documents to the state of Arizona, by the way, guys.
That's crazy. No, it's not.
It's a
but
brave
it
new
is.
world, man.
Yeah.
It is.
2020 was when that finally ended.
The information superhighway.
Tom had a vision that her grandmother is dead. That's what her brother was faxing her about, that she wasn't doing well. She gets a call.
If somebody faxed me that someone died.
If someone faxed me at all, I'd be like, I don't have a fax machine. Where did this piece of paper come from?
Someone walked from another room in their head.
She gets a call from her brother then about it immediately. She's going to go to the funeral, and she wants Tom to come with her, but he insists he can't go. He's busy digging.
Oh, and Tom knew that the grandma died.
Yeah.
I like that detail.
Mm-hmm.
He let it slip and realized that was
that he shouldn't be the one to tell her, and so she angrily goes to the funeral with just Jake. While they're gone, Tom digs first in the backyard. He tears up the floors in the house. He's trying to tear up the floor in the basement. Goes and rents a jackhammer. While working in the basement, he inadvertently knocks down a brick wall, and inside it discovers Samantha's mummified remains.
And then he touches it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have touched it.
I'm sure the smell in there has got to be awful too.
Yeah.
I'm sure the smell in the basement is awful because she is just an exposed corpse in a hole.
Yeah.
I mean,
not embalmed.
Not embalmed. It smells terrible. Yeah.
So before he knocks down the wall, he's talking with Maggie on the phone, and she wants to come get him. Mm-hmm. She wants him to drive there, but he can't. He says he can't use the company truck, so she's going to come get him. And the kid, Jake, doesn't want to go. He's like, I'm afraid of the feathers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maggie almost forgets her purse. And he's like, don't forget this.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so she heads back. She says she's just going to honk when she gets out front for Tom to come. Tom says, before he can refuse, she hangs up and starts leaving.
Mm-hmm. And somewhere in this point, Harry, his landlord / cop and father, the other weird kid.
Yeah, stuff happening.
It starts to catch, even from a landlord point of view. Like, did he just bring a jackhammer and an air compressor?
Yeah, he hears the jackhammer and Tom screaming wildly.
Yeah,
because he's how much fun he's having with the jackhammer.
Yeah, and let's be clear. At this point, his security deposit's gone.
Right. Well, at this point, it keeps you think. You don't necessarily maybe think the cop is involved. You think he's just interested as a landlord.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Obviously, Frank, the neighbor, seems like the most likely suspect just for the casting, if nothing else.
Yeah. Well, the way this is a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So as he touches her, he receives a vision showing him what happened. Samantha was walking down the street. Adam and Kurt were hanging out in the house as it was being worked on. They lured her in. They were going to try to rape her. She resists, and they unintentionally suffocate her to death.
Yep.
They were drinking green apple pucker in that house.
Or cream de mint. Yeah.
I think it was green apple pucker. Yeah. But
it was hot at that point in time too. Yeah.
Nice detail. Adam throws up his green pucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, I hated this scene so much.
Pucker came in a different
or whatever it was.
Bottle.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, it wasn't? It was so probably then creme de menthe.
Who knows? Or like vodka with food color. Green beer is just.
Yeah, but
it's
they obviously stole the bottle from like their mom's stash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, Jude asked, was that absinthe? I was like, oh no. No. There were plenty of
Did you know it was illegal like most of our life?
No, I don't know, but I was like, we had plenty of bright green liquors in the 90s that were.
One of the first times in high school that I got drunk, I just blindly reached into Mimi's cabinet and pulled out schnapps, peppermint schnapps. And it was just so rough.
Yeah.
Josh and Eli and I just slugging it. It was so thick.
I can't imagine something I'd like to drink less.
I know. It was just a blind grab. Like, oh no, she had rum.
Yeah, you guys could have been drinking vodka or something, but no, peppermint schnapps.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Tom goes down to Frank's house. He's going to tell him about it. Tell him they have to call the police. Brings them back to the basement to show him. Frank breaks down and admits that Adam and Kurt had confided their secret to him and Harry. Frank pulls out a gun, demands to be alone. Tom leaves the basement and hears a single shot.
What was that?
That was my one unanswered question from this. What did he shoot? And then what did he do the entire time he heard what was happening upstairs?
Yeah, was he? Yeah. Did he want Tom to think he had done that?
Was that an elaborate ruse?
I don't know, because he was.
What happens next is not unbelievable, but what was the shot? Yeah, why did he fire one off in a basement?
Why did he shoot? Yeah, one bullet in the basement and then just stand there for 10 minutes, then come up.
Yeah.
So I have a theory I'm assembling right now. Maybe he wanted to mess with the evidence so that the boys would not be as implicated.
Potentially, maybe he shot her hand that was holding the hair.
Or even shot her through the head or so because it was his gun. Maybe it was a last-ditch effort to take responsibility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's implicating himself in the crime.
So that's a combo of what you guys said.
Or that it was the second shot he fired. The first shot he fired was when Tom was still in the basement and he fired to scare him out. He's like, it was a warning shot. And maybe he just shot another one off to emphasize his point.
Make sure he doesn't come back down the stairs.
Yeah.
There was a rascally cat.
Yeah. But no, that makes sense. Him like as a last ditch trying to take the blame for it. I can see that.
I mean, it would be pretty obvious to any forensic analyst.
Yeah, how new the
yes, very obvious. Like,
but he's losing it. He's down there. He's freaking out. He wants to protect his son, the neighborhood, and his friend Tom, and the neighborhood again.
I love how he says, "What were you supposed to do? Just let them go to jail?" I was like, "Yeah,
yes." So that was
what
the
you
Brock
were supposed
Turner
to do.
They killed a girl, dude. Come on, man.
She was slow. She had no future. They were up and coming football stars. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, fucking gross. Gross.
So gross.
Yeah. So, anyways, Harry and Kurt arrive. They force their way inside. They corner Tom. They're gonna kill him, but
assassinate him.
Yeah.
Pillow.
Yeah.
Gun to the back of the head. Just fucking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. But Maggie arrives and interrupts. She has the knife that was in the purse that Jake made sure she didn't forget.
Right.
And
she goes into it to get her cell phone. Oh no, a knife. If only a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, yes, she has the knife.
But she walks in that house like a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Ripley in this moment.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's badass. But Harry does grab her. She stabs him in the foot. Or does she stab the kid? Was it him or the kid? I can't remember.
Stabs Harry in the foot.
That's right, because then he shoots up through the roof, right?
Yeah, through the ceiling.
Which explodes the pillow in Jake's bed and the feathers fly, which is the feathers he was afraid of.
And only we see that particular moment, which was, again, fun. That was a little fun filmmaking moment.
Yeah.
That was probably the coolest end result of the ability. Is this vague, cryptic prophecy.
Because Jake didn't even
happens.
know.
Yeah.
Because she's like, what feathers? And he's like, I don't know, the feathers.
Yeah. Just the feathers. Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah. So then Frank emerges from the basement and kills Kurt and Harry. We see Samantha's spirit smile and walk away down the street.
Dude, he's like
real
Neo in the
lovely bones
Matrix
kind of thing.
Yeah.
When he comes up from the basement, it's like that bank scene, you know, or the bank heist, where he's just like, anyways, I just started blasting. He just kills those guys so quick.
What confusing scruples the man has. Because he's like, no, cold-blooded murder, no way. No way. Accidental murder, cover up for your football star son. He's just all over the place. The neighborhood is the most important thing.
It's like a Fast and the Furious family, but also crime, but also
but also crime, but also neighbors, but also block parties, but also fuck Lenny, but also the neighborhood,
but also football, high school football,
and pride. Yeah.
So there was the guy at the party that they were like, who invited this fucking asshole? That's
Lenny.
not the guy at the end, right? Is that the guy who kidnaps them? Okay. I thought that was a different guy.
That was
Lenny's
Lenny.
literally the neighborhood dipshit.
Yeah.
Like Frank particularly doesn't like him. I bet he knew or overheard, and you could tell Lenny has a big mouth. But but you could also tell nobody likes him.
Yeah, nobody likes Lenny. So
every village has an idiot, right?
Yeah,
it's true.
So sometime later, we see the family moving out of the house. We see Samantha has a grave now. Then as the family drives away, we see Jake in the back seat. He covers his ears because there's a lot of ghosts and they talk
if
a
you had
lot.
if you had the captions on, a lot of different voices are saying Jake, as he's going by. So every house is haunted, which again, that's a principle I've said all along. If there are ghosts, every inch of the planet is haunted. There's nowhere that people haven't died. But yeah, he just hears his name over Jake.
Yeah, and that's a lot. That's a lot.
So that's where he has the auditory, whereas before he had more of a visual shining.
Yeah.
Where his dad had the hearing thing shining.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that there's a variety of ways to pick up on things. I wish they had gone. I wish that we had made it into that room with the dashiki police officer and the junkie.
Yeah, what was going on in there?
Yeah. I want to know what they were going to tell Dad. Like, what?
They were going to how to harvest Angelina Grove.
There is a sequel to this. Went straight. It premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
It was one of those things that was it was an unrelated film that they retitled as the sequel in order to cash in on the name recognition. It stars it stars a
Rob Lowe.
a slumming at Rob Lowe, yeah. Stir of Echoes 2, The Homecoming. It is unrelated to this film in every way other than he can hear and see ghosts.
And high school football.
Yes. Yeah, The Homecoming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for Stir of Echoes.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. It was fine. I liked it better when I watched it 20 years ago.
I was gonna say, because I remember really liking it then, but it's funny because now it takes a bit more.
It does. It was a real paint by numbers kind of thing.
Right. I could see how it was freaky then. I could see how we told each other to check it out. But now,
the theater scene, the like, what's that movie where we're going? We don't need eyes.
Oh,
Event Horizon, where they spliced in all the horror scenes in between, like a relatively normal shot of the movie. That was big at the time. It seemed like that shit still freaks me out.
Yeah. The whole the ghost moving all jittery, very Grudge like.
Yeah.
So, it was all right. It's a solid B minus. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Any final thoughts or anything, guys? I don't really have much to say.
No.
Kevin Bacon got skinny.
Yeah,
He was really skinny in this movie.
he was skinny. But
That's how we looked in JFK, and well, look at Footloose behind
Yeah.
fairly
Animal House.
a little bit ripped. Not like
Yeah.
but not like big.
Toned. He's toned.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At 40.
yeah.
Watching or seeing him shirtless made me do some push-ups.
Well,
I
to all our
absolutely did
listeners
push-ups.
that haven't
This
seen
movie.
me before,
It
that's kind of what I look like.
Yeah. It reminded me of how much I've let myself go in my 40s. Anyway,
I was like,
I was
I'm
actually
about,
digging last week.
I'm about Kevin Bacon's age. I gotta out-age Kevin Bacon. That's the goal.
yeah.
He still looks good.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
Stir of Echoes. It's all right. If you'd like to see a movie that's fine, go and watch it.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week, everybody. Next week we're back to our quote unquote normal programming. We're going to be going back. We had briefly mentioned prior to Haunted Phosphorescence that we're going to be going back to comic adjacent films. And we'll be starting with Annie.
Or,
The 1980, 81?
yeah, not the remake.
Not the Jamie Foxx one.
Not the Jamie
Bummer.
Foxx Annie. Yeah. So Annie, that is next week on Harmless Phosphorescence. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. This has been your host, Throw Smiley, and I'm off to find a bowl of warm soup.
Yeah. I'm Josh Cece, and I can get you some tickets to a high school football game if you need them. Good price.
I never wanted to be famous. I just wanted to be Kevin Bacon. I'm Brian Lesh.
When you wake up dead with your throat cut, don't come crying to me. I'm Alaric Weber.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.